Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, March 16th. Well, a secondary surge of cold air is arriving right now in the I-95 corridor, and it is generating some snow shower activity in D.C., about to reach the Philadelphia metro region and New York as well. There can even be a heavier burst of snow in some areas, especially around the D.C. metro region over the next few hours. This afternoon, skies should become partly sunny, but the winds will continue to be quite strong all day long, with wind gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour or so. And of course, temperatures remain well below normal as we continue with this cold and stormy March pattern. Another low-pressure system will dive to the south on Saturday, a relatively weak system. It could cause a few hours of rain, sleet, or snow in the D.C. metro region, maybe a snow shower or rain shower in Philadelphia. Probably remains dry in New York City on Saturday. And then Sunday and Monday look basically dry but chilly in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. After that, it looks like we'll have a long-lasting, significant storm threat from late Monday night, perhaps into early Thursday. A couple of different systems will set up along the Mid-Atlantic coastline. Certainly can be some significant rain, sleet, or snow with this particular system. Again, we're talking basically Tuesday and Wednesday, perhaps even into early Thursday of next week. Just as a tease, this is the snowfall forecast from last night's 0Z European model run for the system next week, and it is of course, looking significant, but several days away. Here, anywhere in the dark region here is a foot of snow, again, as predicted by last night's 0Z European model run. Still many days to go, and we'll try to focus in on the big storm threat for next week over the next several minutes. Well, we're going to start off with the upper air pattern forecasted by last night's 0Z GFS model run. We'll walk through the weekend and then into the early and middle parts of next week. Again, a significant and long-lasting event is likely beginning late Monday night, perhaps continuing into early Thursday of next week here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Yesterday I posted an article about the Great Blizzard of March 1958. That was one of Pennsylvania's biggest snowstorms. I'm not saying this will turn out to be one of the biggest snowstorms ever for Pennsylvania, but there are some similarities to that particular storm, including high latitude blocking, of course, which played a key role in that March 1958 storm. One point I want to make, however, is that that storm occurred on March 18th to 21st. Certainly can get significant snow even during the second half of the month of March. In fact, there was one year back in 1982 in April, a significant snowstorm in the northeastern part of the country delayed the baseball season for several days. That was in the first week of April back in 1982. It doesn't happen often, but certainly can get significant snow during the second half of the month of March, and it's on the table for this storm next week. Now, as with many March storms, especially during the latter half of the month, elevation plays a key role. So higher elevation locations can have significant differences from lower elevation locations in terms of snow accumulations. And that all is a possibility for next week. One other thing I want to point out up front here, ice could very well play a role. Sleet, freezing rain in that storm system next week. We have a strong, cold, high-pressure system that will be a key player to this event building to the north next week, and that will provide at least low-level cold air, so it raises the possibility of ice. First of all, here we stand early this morning, and again, a secondary surge of cold air is arriving right now with an upper-level vorticity max associated with it, causing some snow showers, maybe a burst of heavier snow this morning in D.C. and about to reach Philadelphia and New York City. Here, as of this morning, is what looks like a pretty healthy-looking system. This is the area that will produce weak low pressure going to our south on Saturday. Basically, it weakens as it moves to the east. Let's move forward here, and here we go into this evening. This is already starting a weakening process. By the way, out west here, this is the upper-level system associated with next week's storm, and we'll watch that trek all the way across the country here over the next several days. But again, that area that looks pretty impressive this morning kind of gets squashed as it moves into this confluence pattern, wind pattern in the upper part of the atmosphere, so it weakens as it approaches the mid-Atlantic region. But again, there can be a few hour period tomorrow, later morning, midday in D.C. with rain, sleet, or snow. Nothing significant at all. A light precipitation event, maybe a rain or snow shower makes it into Pennsylvania, into Philadelphia. New York City should remain dry, well to the north of this dying system. But here we go. Deep upper level trough starting to show up in the western U.S. Here we are, Sunday morning now. And again, Sunday and Monday basically dry and chilly days here in the mid-Atlantic region. This then slowly moves into the Ohio Valley by the time, this is a Monday evening forecast map, again using last night's 0Z GFS model run. And it basically runs into that high latitude blocking, cannot go to the north and east. Certainly will become a slow mover, and here it sets up over the Ohio Valley. There'll be an initial wave of low pressure over the Ohio Valley that should transfer energy. Ultimately, low pressure is likely to form probably off the Virginia coastline here during the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame of next week, and then we'll just keep moving forward. This is Tuesday morning, and here we still have the signs of that low here Tuesday night in the upper part of the atmosphere over the Ohio Valley, but also notice a wave of energy down in the deep south and multiple waves of energy, really just a broad area of an upper level low here setting up here. And by the time Wednesday night rolls around, just sitting off the mid-Atlantic coastline. Again, I think there could be precipitation from this as early as late Wednesday night, early Tuesday morning, and as late as early Thursday. So a long-lasting event. And here we go by Wednesday night. The Vigors upper level system sitting right off the mid-Atlantic coastline, and all of this translates to a slow-moving, long-lasting event for next week. Well, let's now take a look at the surface maps, and again, we'll focus in on the storm threat for next week. This is this morning. Actually, no snow showers depicted here by the GFS, but they're out there on radar right now, and certainly down across D.C. they're getting some snow bursts and a few snow showers headed into southeastern Pennsylvania. New York City can get in some of the action as well over the next few hours. Partly sunny this afternoon, but notice this pressure gradient continues to be quite tight here in the northeastern U.S. Wind gusts to 30 to 35 miles per hour during the midday and afternoon hours in the I-95 corridor, and definitely colder than normal for this time of the year. Let's keep moving forward. A very strong storm here this morning and into the afternoon across the Central Plains, but as that upper level system gets squashed in the confluence wind pattern in the upper atmosphere, this storm will weaken as well. Nonetheless, there can be a few hours of anything, snow, sleet, rain in the D.C. metro region during the late morning, midday hours on Saturday. Maybe even a rain or snow shower makes it just on the north side of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, but for the most part, the precipitation will stay south of the Mason-Dixon line. Let's keep moving forward. That moves on out of here by late afternoon, let's say, on Saturday, and then Sunday and Monday basically dry and chilly days here. But here we go. By late Sunday night into early Monday, storms starting to set up here over the middle part of the country. Notice some moisture way down in the deep south, some Gulf of Mexico moisture playing a role. And this basically heads towards the Ohio Valley at this time here. By Monday evening, strong storm over the Ohio Valley. And notice what we have up here. Strong, cold Canadian high pressure sitting across Hudson Bay region, southeastern, headed towards the southeastern part of Canada, already sending colder air into the northeast. We really haven't had many situations this year with a strong cold high to the north. That's a key factor for snow in the I-95 corridor, especially later in the season here. You really want to and almost have to see cold Arctic high up to the north for snow this time of the year. So that is certainly going to play a role here, and that sits up there. And here we go. The initial burst of precipitation in the form of rain, sleet, or snow anywhere from D.C. to Philadelphia all the way up to New York City. Still low pressure here hanging over the Ohio Valley, but a secondary wave starting to form off the Virginia coastline. That then develops here, and notice another wave of low pressure, sir, hanging back here. This is now late Tuesday night, and snow across at this time by Wednesday morning all the way down to D.C. and all the way across Pennsylvania. Low pressure right off the Virginia Capes here. Another reflection of low pressure still out over the Ohio Valley. And again, that deep upper level trough we saw, basically a broad upper level trough running into the high latitude blocking. And notice the position of this high here come Wednesday morning, southeastern Canada. That will provide some low level cold air for sure, and that increases the likelihood for at least some kind of frozen precipitation. So ice is a threat for a while. It's very likely that the first wave or burst of precipitation is associated with a little bit warmer temperatures, and that brings in a little bit colder air for the next wave of precipitation. So maybe more of a chance for rain in the late Monday night, Tuesday time frame, more of a chance for frozen ice or snow in the Wednesday into Thursday time frame. But again, here we go now by Wednesday afternoon, the GFS putting out a healthy snowfall here for the I-95 corridor all the way back into the Ohio Valley. Low pressure off the Mid-Atlantic coastline and that key high to the north across southeastern Canada. And here we go into Wednesday night. Strong low pressure. Again, a long-lasting event, much like the March 1958 storm, which was a long-lasting event. By the way, very fascinating storm. And Morgantown, Pennsylvania, right near the Pennsylvania Turnpike, actually ended up with 50 inches of snow in that particular storm. Heavy, wet snow, of course, and that was over a 3-day period. One day they had 6 inches. Then the main storm produced something like 38 inches, a daily record, and then another 6 inches on the next day. So that was one of the high spots in Pennsylvania, 50 inches in Morgantown, March 1958. And I keep going back to that because there are some similarities with the overall pattern and next week's storm system. Let's keep moving forward here. And here we go all the way into early Thursday. Still some precipitation across New Jersey into the I-95 corridor. Again, it looks like a long-lasting, significant storm for next week. Anytime precipitation could be anywhere from late Monday night, early Tuesday into early Thursday. It certainly can be significant. Rain, ice, or snow, or all of the above in the I-95 corridor region from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. So some snow shower activity this morning. Still windy and cold for this time of the year. More of a settled weekend. There can be a few hours of rain, sleet, or snow, especially across D.C. Tomorrow, midday hours primarily. Basically dry and chilly Sunday and Monday. And then the storm threat for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.